Alrighty, everybody. This is our Lab 5 final project for Team 3. You can see our robots getting set up to their program home position. You can see our camera up in the top middle of the screen. Took a picture to localize a group of blocks we have placed down that area. I was going to pick them up and place them on the conveyor system. One little feature we added is you can see that piece of paper near the block area, and we use that to help us visualize where the camera and robot's bounds were to ensure that we are placing the blocks in a real and viable pickup location.
And you can see on the second UR5 robot that it's in a wait position right now. When the sensor is triggered as a block goes by, it will actually close onto the block, go to the next position to grab the second block. The safe position now goes to the load position and drops it off once it has two blocks, goes back to the safe position in the middle, and then goes back down and waits for another block.
And as you could see on the left-hand side, the Fanuc robot, this is controlled by when the PLC tells the Fanuc that there are blocks in its queue, the Fanuc will carry out our code from Lab 4, that is to grab the block and start palletizing them in the given configuration. These configurations were 2x2x3 as well as 3x3x2. Once this Fanuc finished its job, it would then turn off and wait for the user to clear the pallet and wait for the user to then send another signal through the PLC that it was ready to restart the job.
You may notice in the video that when it's waiting and the conveyor stops, the other UR5 robot stops too, and that's how we decided to control the system from a higher level with everything working together.
So as mentioned, throughout this whole process, the PLC is in constant communication with all three of the robots. It's helping communicate to pause that first robot when there's a cube in the second robot, and the second robot has turned the conveyor off. And here it's keeping track of when the second robot drops those cubes into the chute and when the Fanuc picks up cubes out of the chute. It'll detect actually that second robot's position and their gripper state to see that. And for the Fanuc will just be sending its signal. Whenever there are cubes in the robot, the PLC will be sending a signal to the Fanuc to keep going. And as we're about to see in a moment here, we're going to finish a cycle, and we'll see what the PLC does once the cycle is finished. We see the final two cubes being dropped into the chute here by the second UR. And the Fanuc is going to palletize them, and then it's going to stop. Once it stops, we're going to go ahead and grab the UR input panel off of the table here. And as soon as we press, you can see we've cleared the pallet. As soon as we press the input on here, we're going to see the Fanuc restart, just like that. And in the meantime, the UR has continued collecting cubes and will keep going through its cycle.